Hey, what's going on, guys? Strategic back again. I thought I was done making videos for the day, but I'm not, apparently. I checked my feed and Plunder dropped a community tab message that she got from the docket, where the docket posts the next scheduled court date for Stephen Stearns, which is going to be April 23rd, 2025, where the judge is going to hear motions on Stephen Stearns' attorney's motion to suppress the cell phone evidence that they got from Stephen Stearns' phone. I didn't make a video on this topic about the judge's ruling on the media inside of the courtroom because it was widely covered by Plunder and Grizzly. So I was like, you know what, everybody pretty much knows now that we won. All of us, the media, the new media, and the old media, we all won. The trial will be covered internationally. We will be streaming this trial when it happens. You guys know how I feel about the trial. It's not going to happen until 2026. Either the winter of 2025, we're talking about November, December, or winter of 2026, we're talking about January, February. I think that's the earliest we're going to see this trial actually come to fruition. But this is the one I'm worried about, guys. Now, I know most people will tell you, and even I will tell you, that most likely this evidence will not be suppressed. But it's possible that it might be suppressed, ladies and gentlemen. Let me explain something to you guys. Yesterday I went to a hearing to see if a Mirandized statement that I took from the worst ex-offender would stand in court. Can you believe that my Mirandized statement that literally went by the book was thrown out? You want to know why it was thrown out? Because the police officers who initially responded and took the subject into custody, they asked him questions without reading him Miranda. And since they asked him questions and he gave he gave confessions basically to them. After they asked him questions without Miranda, he gave confessions. I didn't know that they had this conversation with him. I had no idea. I came on the scene way after the fact. I bring him in the interrogation room. I read him his Miranda. It's on video recording. Everything is recorded. You could clearly see that I respected this man's rights. But simply because his rights were violated earlier on in the process, even though it's unbeknownst to me, guess what? That statement was thrown out because basically they said that the reason why he probably spoke to me is because he already knew that he had already given a confession to the responding officers. That's how easy it is to get statements and evidence thrown out of court. These judges aren't supposed to operate on emotions. They're not supposed to look at Madeline Soto's case and say, oh man, this is a terrible thing that happened to this young lady. You know what? I'm just gonna let it slide because we need this guy to go to jail. That's not how our criminal justice system works. It's supposed to work based off of the law and based off of good practice. What we've set up as good practice. And the Constitution. Well, most importantly, the Constitution. So we lost that statement yesterday. If you're a part of the membership, you know I spoke about it. We lost that statement. Well, guess what? It's possible that they could lose that evidence, guys. And the reason why is, listen, I understand that Stephen Stearns gave them permission. I get it. I understand it. But the way it was taken from him was not in a way that is done in common practice. It's not best practices how they took it. And the fact that even though he gave them permission, the fact that they dumped the phone without getting a court order is also problematic. Why? Because people can always argue that they were under duress, that they felt like they didn't have a choice, that they were under the influence. And what did he start to argue in those motions? In those motions, he argued that he was under the influence, that he was taking drugs, that he was high, that he was emotionally distraught. He's already set up those arguments, ladies and gentlemen. And those are the arguments that sometimes judges will accept. Now, do they still have a case without those videos and those photos? Absolutely. There's 35,000 images that was found on a thumb drive that was lawfully obtained. The father got it, and it was in the father's possession. The father gave it to the police. The police can easily forensically trace those images back to Stephen Stearns, downloading them, etc. They got that. Will they throw this evidence out? Probably not. Is it possible they could throw it out? Absolutely, it's possible, guys. So I don't want you guys thinking that it's not possible and it's a slam dunk. Nothing is a slam dunk in criminal court, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, I will repeat that for the people in the back of the room. Nothing is a slam dunk when it comes to criminal court. So anybody who says, oh, it's not going to happen, listen, I mean, that's their opinion. There's nothing wrong with having opinions. But I beg to disagree. I totally and wholly beg to disagree. Now, check this out. I don't want people to get alarmed. I don't want people to lose hope, lose faith, etc. Like I said, I wholly believe that it's highly likely that these motions will be shot down, just like the motion to remove media from the courtroom. I believe that it'll be shot down. But what I'm telling you is it's problematic how they decided to get that phone. It almost doesn't make sense how they decided to get the phone. It doesn't make sense not to get a court order to dump a phone for somebody you know is most likely a subject in your case. It doesn't make sense. It's almost like negligent, guys. Like, why wouldn't you get a court order? In fact, I've never, ever submitted a cell phone for Cellbrighting that I did not get a court order for. In fact, yesterday after court, I went and swore out court orders for a different case. In fact, in the last 2 weeks, I think I've sworn out maybe a dozen court orders, a dozen search warrants in the last 2 weeks. Probably a little bit more than a dozen in the last 2 weeks. Everything get a search warrant. Why not? You have probable cause. You have strong cases. You should at least get the search warrant, because it protects you from somebody saying, well, I only gave you permission because you threatened me. I only gave you permission because I was under the influence. I only gave you permission because I didn't have the mental acumen to make that decision at that point because I was under stress or mental illness or duress or whatever. Why didn't they get a court order? I don't know. So if you guys think that saying, okay, you can have my phone is enough, well, you have obviously not been exposed to the criminal justice system as much as district attorneys and detectives typically are. And that's why I expected those detectives down in Kissimmee to know better, and Orange County to know better. We may live in different states, ladies and gentlemen, but at the end of the day, we follow the same Constitution. A state can't make a law that violates the Constitution. State laws, municipal laws, none of that can violate the Constitution. These are best practices for a reason, because they stand up to the Constitution. When you weigh them against the Constitution says, yep, good to go. I'm good with that. No constitutional issues there. No violation of rights there. Do it the right way. We would not be having this conversation if these guys did it the right way with best practices. So I'll be paying attention. If I'm off, I'll be live streaming it. That's April 23rd. I'm sure it's going to start at 9 o'clock, maybe 9:30, 10 o'clock is when they'll finally, start the proceedings. And yeah, we'll be watching it together, guys. I appreciate you guys for showing me love. You guys are the best. Please consider donating to our fundraiser right now. Our GoFundMe is live. We're almost halfway through what we're asking for. Almost. I think last time I checked, we're like 43% or 45%. We really would appreciate the help. Whatever you could give will definitely assist us in getting this goal. We're trying to build out a new show computer. It's going to be so important. It's the heart of the show. It literally does. It will do everything. It'll help us when we do our streaming. It will host the streaming. It will also allow allow us to edit videos and give you better products out there, man. So we want to be a top-notch YouTube channel, and to do that, you need top-notch equipment along with a top-notch audience. Now, we've got the audience. You guys are top-notch. We're trying to catch up to you. We're trying to be as great as you guys are. And so we're asking for you guys to show us a little bit of love, 5, 10, 15, 20, whatever you want to donate. We appreciate that so we can get this technology and take this show to the next level. We'll see you guys on the next one. Strategic is out of here. Peace.